guys, Christy here. So I'm a little bit behind on stuff. So today I'm going to do my March wrap up, the books that I read in March and how I felt about them. So it's been a minute, so I can't remember in like what order, but so these aren't in any order whatsoever. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is Keeper of the Lost Cities. Now this is a middle grade series. It's by Shannon Messenger, and they're thick books. This was almost 500 pages, 490, something like that. And it's about this girl who doesn't feel normal. She's really smart. She's gone forward in high school. Like she's the youngest one in the high school because she's moved forward so much. And she gets these terrible headaches because she can hear everybody's thoughts. And she can't shut it off. And she hates it. And she doesn't know why nobody else is like her, and she's all by herself. And then all of a sudden she meets a kid and she finds out the reason she's not like everybody else is because she is an elf. And she is then spirited away to, well, it's not elf, it's, I guess, fairies. It's a hard, let's see.
Does it have a word for it, Mom?
Yeah, I think it's elf, but it could be fairy school.
I have some music in my head.
Hang on. Okay, it is elves. I thought so. So she's ferried away to this elf school, and to try and determine who she is and where she came from, and is she any good at this being an elf. And turns out that she's much different than the normal elves, and there's reasons for that and the mystery surrounding it, and she has to try and get behind the reasons, and because nobody really knows. And it is just a fast read. It is so much fun. I gave this a 5-star. I loved it. I bought the second book in the series and plan on reading it very soon. Buddy read this with a friend of mine, Kaylee, and I don't know, maybe I'll Buddy read the next one with her, although I bet she's probably moved on a lot faster than I have. Anyway, the next book that I read is The Winner's Kiss by Marie Rakowski. And Kelly and I read this together. We read the whole series together. And The Winner's Curse, we both loved. Loved The Winner's Curse. The Winner's Crime, we both hated. Like, it was terrible. And so it was hard to pick up The Winner's Kiss, but the way The Winner's Crime ended, it ended in such a way that you knew that it had to get good. So I kept on going, and this one was great. This one was phenomenal. I can't remember what I gave it. It might have been a 4.5. The other one was not great. Let's see. Winner's Kiss. Let's see what I gave it. .5. That's what I gave this one. But I think I put a 5-star on Goodreads, but you can't do, 0.5s or 0.75s, 0.25s. Anyway, so the Winner's Trilogy is about this girl, Kestrel, in this land, and she buys this slave named Aaron. And then she hates herself for buying a slave. She's not the same as the rest of her people who use these people. They have conquered their land, and now all those people are their slaves. And she just doesn't believe in the slavery aspect. One of the slaves was her nanny, and she loved her very much. Her own mother died, I think, giving birth to her. And she's just learned to love these people kind of from afar, and she struggles with it. And then war ensues, and these people try to take their land back, and it all involves around, it all revolves around Aaron, the slave she bought, and what happens with him. And of course, there's a romance. And the very, like, listen, this romance is a good one. I'm not much for romances, and this one's a good one. But I really enjoyed this book. So I feel like if you can push through Winter's Crime like Kelly and I did, then you'll end up really enjoying this trilogy. I just don't understand what happened with book 2. Like, it was not good. It was really hard to get through. And for the next one, Grave Mercy. Also a buddy read. You guys, I love buddy reads. I love it so much. You guys, buddy reads keep me going. They keep me active in reading, and then I really enjoy what other people think. You know, the things that I miss that other people will see, and back and forth. I love it so much. Well, Grave Mercy is about this. It's 15th century Brittany, and Ismay escapes being married off to this brutal man. It's like the day she just got married, and she's whisked away and taken to a nunnery where she is taught to be, well, I mean, she's a killer. Like, let's face it. She's taught to be an assassin, or basically do whatever the nuns tell her that their God is telling them that she needs to do. And again, there's a romance. But she ends up, her assignment takes her to like court, and she has to be part of like court intrigue and court politics. And let's see what I rated Grave Mercy. I really did enjoy Grave Mercy. We're actually doing a buddy read of the second one. I think it was Dark Triumph this month, because we all really enjoyed it so much. There was a little bit of lag in the middle, but it's called His Fair Assassin Trilogy, and I rated it a 4-star. But I loved it. My rating, if you want more in depth on how I felt about it, is on Goodreads. But yeah, Grave Mercy, really good. This was a long read, though. Yeah, 580 some pages. Big book. Okay, the next one, I got this on Goodreads, I think, and I think it is because Chelsea, I think she got it, and she was talking about it. It's called Last Call at the Nightshade Lounge, and it's by Paul Kruger, and it was just fun. It was, so this book was about this girl who, her name's Bailey, and she's fresh out of college, and she goes back home, and she's trying to get this really important job, but her best friend is working as a bartender, and so then he hires her as a barback. And then one night she's attacked by this creature after she had mixed a drink and drank it before she left, and she ends up kicking its butt. And her best friend's like, how did you do that? How did you mix that? You're not supposed to be able to do that. Only certain people are supposed to be able to do that. And so then he tells her about this secret, I don't know what you would call them, clan or group, organization, whatever, of people who are mixologists, who, with the old magic, the old recipes, they can create with a certain type of mixture. You gotta do it perfect. And then each one will give you certain powers. And throughout the book, it has like, see, the Negroni, a cocktail to fortify the flesh. It has like these recipes for these. And I just, the old-fashioned, a potable to lend physicality to the will of the mind. The Irish coffee, an elixir to induce illusions. The screwdriver, a drink to lend gravitas to the beginner bartender. Like, I just thought this was hilarious. Like, it was funny, and it was a fun read, and it was such an easy read. Like, it didn't take me any time to read this, and it was just cute and fun and witty, and easy. And I was reading such big, long, thick books, and this was a nice break, just something fun. I loved it. I can't remember. I might have given it like a 4, but it was fun. Then comes Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. And I've had this book for a while, and I've heard such good things about it. And so then several of us decided to buddy read this. And it was Mikachi over at Kaivox and Mikachi's Kaivox Enders account, and Kristen and T and me. The 4 of us read this, and the 4 of us struggled with this. I think I ended up enjoying it by the end, but it took me some time to get through it. But the ending I enjoyed so much. I appreciated how much it ended, so like how well it ended, that I want to continue, but I'm a little nervous. There was just a lot that I didn't connect with. I don't ever want to bash any kind of author ever. It's about these 2 girls who are best friends and from completely different worlds. One of them, she's from the rich, uppity kind of family, but her parents are gone, and she's with her uncle, and he sends her to be trained by these guys. And this other girl is from a village of people who everybody hates because their people were responsible for killing a bunch of other people. And everybody hates her and calls her terrible names, but the 2 of them become best friends and become inseparable, and they end up being called thread sisters, which it's kind of like to me it seems like it's a soul bond maybe, but they decide like they will fight to the death for one another. They will never leave one another, and chaos ensues, as it will. One of them is a truth witch, and that means that she can tell if somebody's telling the truth or lying. And it's a secret, supposed to be a secret that she's a truth witch, because all of these countries would then want her and use her power. And so then it comes out that she's a truth witch, and by certain powers, and she ends up having to run for her life along with her friend. So and then of course a man helps, and there from the beginning that it's going to be a romance between this girl and this guy, and it's very tropey, but the ending was done well. That's all I'm going to say. I think I gave it a 3-star. I think I was kinder than the rest of the group, however. Then I read Moonstruck, the graphic novel. And oh my goodness, y'all, this is the cutest thing ever. And it's LGBTQIA positive representation, and so far there's 5 of them. I can't wait to go find the next one. I'd really like to kind of get it this month. We'll see. But it's all about these little magical creatures, like there's a werewolf and vampires and centaurs and ghosts, and just, at a coffee shop, and there's a first date that goes wrong, and it just it's so cute. It's so cute. This is one that even my 12-year-old could read. She might actually love this. And I 100% gave this a 5-star. So cute. Then came The Disasters by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I can't remember what I gave this one, honestly. It's about these kids, this girl who she's never really known her mother, and her father is this great scientist who died. And her kind of like stepmom-ish runs away with her and teaches her kind of to keep going and looking out and being on the run. And she's not for sure why, but she's just training her for something. She's not sure why. And then comes this day where kind of stuff hits the fan, and she learns that she's got powers and that her father is actually alive and after her, along with her siblings who all have different powers, and they're trying to find these other kids who have powers to save them from the father. And so they do find the first boy. The first boy's whole family is killed, and her stepmom is killed, and the two of them take off. And then it's kind of all about them trying to get to safety and them also trying to figure out what they're going to do, wrap their minds around everything, and try and figure out who these new kids are they need to find and save while trying to stay on the lam from her father and siblings who have these crazy powers. And turns out the two of them together, their powers kind of are like, it's kind of like a yin and yang, kind of they sync together, they go together really well, and they have to figure all that out. It wasn't a bad book, but it did have some boring downtime for me, and a little bit tropey, I might say. I don't know. I love PC Cast and Kristen Cast. I always have. Let me see what I rated it on Goodreads. I rated it 3-star. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was cute. Like I said on Goodreads, it's not my favorite of theirs. The next one was a book club read with Murphy Napier and her group, and it is The Eye of the World. It's book 1 in the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. The Wheel of Time series has been around for a long time. Robert Jordan's since passed, and he's had his wife has had Brandon Sanderson actually finish up the last couple of books in his series. There's like 14 books or something like that in the series, and this is a chunky book. This was like 800, almost 800 pages, 700 something pages. Big book, but let me tell you, it's so good. So good. Probably my favorite book of the year so far. Like, that good. I finally got the book 2, which is called The Great Hunt, in a couple weeks ago, and I want to get to it so bad. I plan on getting to it really soon. 100% 5-star, and I believe everybody should read this. It is so good. I don't even know how to explain it, because, listen, here's the synopsis. What I went on. The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass. What was, what will be, and what is may yet fall under the shadow. Let the dragon ride again on the winds of time. That's all I had. That's all I had. All I knew. And you know what? That's all you need. Just go into it blind. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It is so good. And then the next book is actually The Lumberjanes, Volume 1. Now, I've heard Chelsea and a few other booktubers mention The Lumberjanes, and it's so cute, y'all. And the artwork is really cute. It's just about this bunch of girls at camp, and man, do hijinks ensue. It is one thing after another that these girls get themselves into, but look at this artwork. Isn't that beautiful? I gave this a 5-star too. I'm really starting to like graphic novels more and more. I'll have to get the second one and pretty soon and read that. Okay, y'all. I read The Wicked King by Holly Black. I really enjoyed Cruel Prince, but I didn't enjoy this one as much. So there's some books that just have my anxiety that up. Like, I just can't handle it. My anxiety is at an all-time high throughout the entire thing because there's something going on. A lot of those books are my favorite books. This one, I don't like how it ended in here. I know there's a third book coming, and listen, I've pre-ordered it because I want to know what happens. But I'm fairly certain. Look, I even have the character cards. I just, I don't know. I can't even put my finger on it. I don't even know. And I can't really say much because it's the second book, and so I would end up spoiling it. But it is about, you know, this girl who has been kidnapped by a fairy, and who her mother was married to and has an older sister with, and he killed her mother and her father, and kidnapped her and her sister, and, well, all of them, her and both of her sisters, which one of her older sister is his daughter. But instead of just kidnapping her and leaving the rest, he killed them for taking her away. And that's all I can say, really. Like, it's about how she's trying to make it in the world of the Fae, and how twisted they are. And let me tell you, they are twisted individuals. And she's smart, though, and she learns how to get along in this world, and she wants to make something of herself. She doesn't want to be baggage, and she doesn't want to be their punching bag anymore. She's tired of it. So she figures out a way to do it. She kind of gets her butt handed to her in this book, I feel like. But we'll see in the third book. It just wasn't my favorite. I know a lot of you loved it way more than The Cruel Prince, and I will order the second. I've already pre-ordered the third one, and I plan on reading it. It just let me down. The ending, that was it. The ending part just of it let me down. And finally, last but certainly not least, this is actually the first book I read, I think, of the month, is Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levenseller. And I loved this one. It was an easy read, and it was about this girl who just was not going to give up, not going to let her people in her world that is how everything has always been. She was not going to sit back and take it. She was going to figure something out, and by God, she did. Like, I love this. So she's 18 years old. Her name is Rosmira, and she is her father's chosen heir. And then there's she's fighting and learning and studying along with all the guys. And then at the end of this year, there's this trial, and they have to make it out alive, basically, without being injured. And she does great, and then ends up getting injured. And if you're injured, then you're disqualified, and if you're disqualified, you are kicked out of the entire community to live out in the wild, where you're not expected to live. And she just doesn't give up. And I loved it. I loved this character so much. She was so strong-willed and so determined, and it just kind of proves that, like, if you're determined enough, you can make stuff happen. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I love that message, and I will absolutely read anything she writes. Now, listen, I've already read Daughter of the Pirate King, and I really need to read Daughter of the Siren Queen. So far, I really love her stuff, so everything she puts out, I plan on reading. But that was, let's see, I think 9 books. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 books and 2 graphic novels. Not too bad, since some of those were pretty thick books. I didn't do so great in April. But that was my March books. It's been a month, so I couldn't remember as much about these, except for the ones I really, really loved. Anyway, that is all for the month of March. I will then pretty soon do an April wrap up, and I'm gonna do my May TBR. I'm not great at doing TBRs because I'm such an emotional reader. Like it just depends on how I'm feeling, what I want to read. But buddy reads do help me with that because I have a set plan and there's somebody keeping me accountable. So let me know if there's any books that you would like to buddy read with me because I love buddy read, y'all. And yeah, that's it, I think. Hopefully you guys are having a great month. My month of April was great because I had a new grandbaby. That's why I didn't get much reading done because I've been helping the daughter with the grandbaby and I am tired. But yeah, I think April went great and I'm excited to keep going. No, that's March went great. See, my brain. April was not as great, but I did, I think, read 7 books or something like that. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And one of them was a giant book. So I'm being harder on myself than I should. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great night and a great day tomorrow, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!